Hello! Welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brendan.
My name is Aiden.
And we are a couple of brothers who are writing a book and documenting everything.
We want to show the entire story from inception of the idea to the holding the book in our hands, finished and done.
So, without further ado, Writing Quest.
Writing Quest. Huzzah!
Huzzah! We've gotten quite a few. We have written quite a few words.
We have written
since the last time. So I think I've written almost 1,500. Maybe close to somewhere between 15 and 2,000.
I think I wrote about 1,000.
Yeah.
About 1,000.
So we added quite a bit to the story, which is good. Some things definitely need fleshed out. But we also made some good progress. So to catch everyone up, we started in on chapter 2 pretty good, and I started it out by writing basically a scene where, so we talked in the, like before I'd started it, like she's going off into the woods, but we redid that, so I erased all that, and I restarted chapter 2 with a Gorath and Gaian telling her she can't go. Gaian's kind of a jerk, and Gorath is like trying to be sort of nice, but also like firm, you know.
Yep.
And then basically, as we go, which this will all be posted on the Wattpad, she runs through town, she's mad, and then she kind of just keeps running, and then she leaves.
Yes. I would like to point out that when I read that from your side, you just literally had her just run. And I was like, why is she out here? None of this makes any sense. Her not being able to go does not equal run away into the forest. That seems like such a childish, like, yeah, I want to go. You can't go. Yeah, I'm leaving. Seems...
Well, she is a child.
She is a child, but there was no, like, breaking point. Gotta go. So I added that little nice moment where she makes the choice.
We probably need to expand that a little. Maybe she sticks around for part of the afternoon or something. I don't know.
Or maybe we need to give it a little bit before. Yeah. Anyway.
Or like she goes home for a minute and realizes this is all terrible, and she hits a breaking point, and she...
Or maybe doesn't realize, but she just has like this anxiety about her that goes against like her logical, like, I love my family, I want to be here, but she's just like, I don't want to stay here, and she has to get out.
Yeah. So, anyways, she goes out of town, she leaves, she runs away, and then she finds herself just out in the middle of nowhere, realizing she
becomes determined.
Yes, she's lost, but then she's like, I can do this. We have a line where it says, she's thinking to herself, you'll need to be braver than that if you're to survive out here.
I think she just kind of goes... I think she's just trying to prove herself out here.
Yeah.
But she doesn't actually have a real goal, which maybe we could change later, but I do like...
Well, so we need to give it more of a goal. I agree we need to give it a breaking point, and then we need to give it... She has a breaking point, but then she's also like, I'm going to go out there to find this thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I definitely... So anyway, so you go in, you started, and you just said 2 days passed. So I put a note in here saying, and we need to expand it, because this is a really good opportunity. Because if her side of the story is going to be about survival...
Right.
This is a good opportunity to show
how inexperienced,
like the beginning of so like she's obviously got to have some experience.
She survives 3 days.
Well, no, but they've been living in a forest, so like she's had to have picked up a few things, but she's not like a woodsman. That's the one thing trope that I dislike a lot, where like Aragorn's like this. And Fletcher from
Hunger Games? No,
it's by Taron Matthew.
Oh, the Summoner.
The Summoner series, yeah. They always start with, and I loved these books.
Great
I'm not
books,
saying I don't love them. I do love these stories. But there is always this, like, it starts off with this kid who's like a perfect hunter, and he's like this survivalist.
I shot this deer.
Yeah, like I'm like, whatever.
Whatever.
So this, I'm like, we can kind of do that, but we're changing it a little in that she knows enough to be dangerous, kind of a thing. So like, she knows she can find a deer path, or like she knows she can, and she has a knife with her, so she knows she can like get a squirrel or something. I don't know, like.
She's a Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, but she's not like... I mean, she could get hurt and die,
Easily.
Yeah. So
the reason that I just said 2 days passed was because I was like, well, what's she going to do for 2 days? And in my brain, I was like, get to the next plot point. All I need to know right now is that 2 days passed.
So, this is where I went to. Because I was writing this afternoon, and I was like, okay, this is good. I'm writing the part where she meets the wolf and all,
Yeah.
And then I thought, actually, the chapter needs to end.
I like how
here.
it's in green.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So it needs to end here. That's when she heard it.
Gotcha.
That's the end of the chapter. So this begins chapter 3.
Yes.
So this part needs to be expanded. So chapter 2 needs to be like foreshadowing the rest of the book. This is where we show her. It's like the survival story, like capsule within the story.
This is like where we show
like
the promises.
Yeah, the first time we're showing like this is a survivalist story, and she's really bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
And now this thing happens, and now we go into the third chapter, which is she finds the bad thing and sets off the story. But it's a really good. I think it'd be a good chapter for some good character development. We just got to figure out.
We haven't met Ro really until this chapter.
Well, we're gonna meet Ro. We need to rewrite that other chapter 1.
Yes,
will be a rewrite, and we'll meet her better. So this one will be a good, like, she's trying to survive for 3 days, trying to pursue something, and we need to put up many obstacles.
Yes,
along the path. That's the story of that chapter.
Yes. We also need to think about later what those things will be. So, like, big story elements. That's like, she can't escape thinking about Toothless in How to Train Your Dragon 2. Toothless couldn't get out of this one natural occurring canyon crevice thing. We need to think about that, like her situation there. So how can we prep that here?
So it's kind of it's like a mini story arc. Like the beginning of the chapter, she's frustrated with her family. She's frustrated with her situation. She wants to leave. She leaves.
Yeah.
By the end of the chapter, and at the kind of the next one, she needs to realize, I love my family and my village. I want to go home. She's going to go home. And so she's made that realization, and then she gets ripped from her home. So now she's in the real survival situation.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be gone, but she's ripped from her house. See how it works?
No, that's good. That made it interesting. I was like, yeah. No way.
So that's what we're going to split that.
Okay.
At the end.
Good. There's so much that we can do with this, and I like it because we just kind of get to write and then figure it out. And I also really like that. Also, can we talk about Writing Quest for a second? This is so cool that we get to just write. Like we could just write this book, just passing it back and forth, whatever, blah. But no, we record it, and then we watch it over again, and I love it. I think it's great. And then I remember stuff.
That's been the thing. So, we've had these conversations a lot. We talk about it all the time. And then, but we'd have these long conversations, and then I'd forget all of it. It's like it never happened. So really, it's just a really good way for us to remember what we talked about.
What was it?
Because when I edit, I'm like, oh yeah. Remembering all the,
Well, just before... the last time when I wrote this scene, I was like, I totally forgot where we were. So I went back and watched the last episode, and I was like, man, awesome.
Yeah.
It was, I loved it.
Yeah. So I'm going to split chapter 2 there.
Okay, cool.
And then that chapter will need to be fleshed out better
Yes.
as its own story. So then I got down, though, I'm in here, and I'm writing. So I'm writing this part where she hears the scream.
I haven't read this yet, by the way.
Is it too much to read?
Yeah, it's a little too much to
It's a lot
read.
to read. I'll sum it up.
Find out on Wattpad.
Yeah, read it on Wattpad. I'll sum it up for you. So basically, at the end of what will be chapter 2, she hears a scream.
Yeah.
So when the next chapter starts, she hears a howl that tore through the air.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she heard something die. Something killed something else off in the distance. So she goes to inspect. She eventually finds the noise. She finds the source, but then she realizes it's a dead wolf in this,
Which we've already
clearing.
promised and shown that the wolves are deadly.
Yeah, but it's a dead wolf, and it's huge. So she's thinking like, oh dear God, what could have killed this? And so it's kind of this slower scene of like, she's creeping forward. She's waiting because she's not like, I don't want whatever's out there to get me. So she's waiting. I did this cool thing. I think it's cool. Where I say the birds stop chirping. And then she sits and she waits. And then when the birds start chirping again, that's where she goes, okay, it must be fine.
Okay, that was really cool. You just kind of you explaining that was like, oh.
Yeah. So she's like, oh, it's completely silent. Hey, the birds are back. Okay. So it must be clear. You know. So she goes out.
That could be really sorry. That could be a really cool thing in the future. Like,
Yeah.
and the birds stop chirping.
Yeah, it could be like a device to like the bad guys. It's kind of like our dun-it, dun-it. Yeah. So, all right, calm down.
Sorry, I'm excited.
So then she finds the wolf, and it's like cut up throat. It's like
It's a mess.
kind of, you might need to make sure it's not like too gruesome. I don't know. Like, anyways, it's all cut up. It's dead, super dead. And then she hears a whimper, and then she sees like if the wolf is laying on its side, she sees like its front leg kind of move, and then she slowly like moves it, and there's a wolf pup.
Yeah, well, we won.
Yeah. So the big wolf I'm describing as being white, but it's stained with blood because it's dead. There's blood everywhere. The baby wolf is black with bright blue eyes.
Like a cat.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know what part of me thought maybe there's some symbolism in there, but I don't know what it is. So there's probably not.
Just wait. We'll figure it out, and then
Yeah.
later we'll be like, oh yeah, symbolism. Caught it on tape.
Totally planned that.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways.
Imagine if J.K. Rowling did this, and we could watch J.K. Rowling's whole writing process. You could just see how much of her pre-planning was real and how much was totally BS.
Well, actually, just listening to her like, talking about how she was trying to come up with the Sorting Hat idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she went through all these really crazy ideas. Like, when she says it, it's like, that's completely ridiculous. It's the Sorting Hat. And it's like, the Sorting Hat's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyways. So, there we are.
Okay, cool.
We're up to about, 6,261 words.
Yeah.
Which I think
That's-
we're shooting for like 80 to 100,000. Somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
But if we're going NaNoWriMo route, we're over 10%.
40,000 words for a fantasy novel.
50,000.
That's nothing. That's not,
Yeah.
you know.
So I'm really excited.
The first Harry Potter book is like 76,000.
I would like... Yeah, that's true. I would like to point out that I wrote end of chapter 2...
Now 3.
Now 3. I wrote I wrote this whole thing where she gets caught up in the import way back when, and you were all like, why? But now everything that we've done since then is because of this. And it's just like, well, I had to skip ahead because I don't know what happens, but I know that this happens for sure.
Yeah, I know. So I did think that we could... Like, I almost thought, like, I should just write chapter like
17.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. So basically my thought was like, we should start, kind of from that Brandon Sanderson video. He talks about like, I just come up with like scenes and like if I want to take the character from here to here, what's the logical way to do that?
Right.
And then he does that for multiple things, and then he just kind of like pieces the chapters together that way.
Mm-hmm. What if we wrote it like we write the end of Act 1, and then we fill in the bits, and then we wrote the end of Act 2, and then we fill in the bits, and then we wrote the end of Act 3.
Well, one of the ways I like to work is writing the ending. Because you can just come up with anything. Like, this is where I want it to go. And then you're basically just trying to figure out, how do I take this and get to there?
So okay, you brought up the Brandon Sanderson lectures, which, by the way, I think I'm in lecture 9 now. Very good. A very helpful resource. Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Link in the description, question mark?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Remind me. So if I don't have that link, comment and tell me, hey, where's the link? So that whole lecture series, he talks about promises, progress, and payoffs. That is something, when we talk about the end, we could look back here at all the promises that we've made. We should honestly do that, is go through every single promise that we've made so far. And then pay those off. And then think about the progress.
Or figure out if we want to add a different promise.
True.
So, never mind. Save it for the podcast. Yeah, so anyways, I think I'm pretty close to finishing out this chapter. So, where do you want to take it from here? Do you have any thoughts for chapter 4? The blank page staring at you, Aiden.
Stop it. That is
Look at how blank it is.
Rude. Okay, so I'm really excited for it. I feel like every episode, or after every episode, we talk about doing an outlining episode.
We never do.
And we never do. So here's what I think needs to happen. I think that Brendan and I need to sit down and we need to outline this ish. Maybe we record it, I don't know. But we just get together and outline it. Because doing an episode, it's like all this pressure and stuff. Instead, let's just you and me outline it.
Better idea.
No, please! Continue!
Everything you just said is total crap.
Cheers.
Cheers. No, for real. I agree. However, we should do it this way.
Okay.
We should do the next episode. We're gonna do Roe's outline. So we're gonna do what that Brandon Sanderson does, where he's like, these are the logical scenes we should have for Roe.
Because it's a survivalist plot.
Yep. She is here. She's got to get to here. How do we make that happen? And then we do the same thing in another episode for Ogorath and Gaian. And then we start mashing it together.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I say we do. So next episode, we're going to outline Roe's story. The rest of Roe's story.
We outline like Brandon Sanderson. And then this happened. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So here's my next question, which we'll just answer whenever we write again. Do we immediately pick up chapter 4 with Roe? Or do we cut to someone else?
I think this is a great place for us. I think this is really good because this gives us a section where it's like, this is all the setup. This is the character. Who is everyone that we're watching? This is it. As soon as Roe goes off and then Agorth and Gaian go on into their own lines and stuff, we can focus on the pre-section and then the story.
Yeah.
Right? So
the question is, as a reader, would you want to immediately know what happened to Roe? Or would you rather stay with Gaian and Agorath dealing with the fallout of, like, where did Roe go?
We just spent so much time on Ro. I feel like we really need to hit what it means that she's gone in the import. So I personally think, and I think the reader wants to know what happened to Ro. I think
we can at least put one chapter in between that's not
Ro. I think we do that. However, at this point, as authors, this doesn't matter. We just write Ro's scene or Ro's story, and then Gorth and Gaian's story.
So now it's like we're writing 2 books in the one book.
A little bit, yeah, and then
they eventually weave back together.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think that's gonna work. So you know what we could do after we do the outlining. This would be a fun exercise. You write the next chapter for Gaian and Nagorath. I write the next one for Ro,
and then we trade. That would be really fun.
We keep taking it.
That would be a great way to do that. I'd be down. That'd be very good for episodes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well,
here's what I need you to do right now. How are we doing? Put down in the comment section. Do you like the story? Do you like how we're writing it? Are we a bunch of fools? Probably.
Definitely.
Definitely a bunch of fools.
If you have story ideas, though, definitely put them in the comments.
Absolutely.
Because any idea is valid. And
name suggestions. Give us name suggestions.
Names are tough.
They are tough. Good names are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great thing. At least for the time being, we will absolutely answer your comments.
Definitely
do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, this has been an episode of Writing Quest. We hope you like it. Like, comment, subscribe, as always. Share it. Sharing's a big one.
Huge.
Really like sharing it. So, until...
and a bit of celebration before we close out. 31 subscribers.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And thank you to you, because...
Thank you.
This wouldn't be possible without all of you. So.
Yeah. So, until next time, Writing Quest.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!